There we go. Hopefully everything is working, except the subtitles. Hooray! It's all good. Hello everyone. Hello. My name is Fiona. I use she/her pronouns. I am a white woman wearing what is a what they call turtleneck. So clearly I'm an evil doer, and my traditional sort of Lucian yak is a little flowery one today. And I've got shoulder length blondie brownie hair, and this is Too Long Didn't Read TTRPGs, in which we look at an RPG quick start that has caught my interest, whether it's from the bookshelf of doom or the Google Drive of mystery. Hope you're all doing well, my friends. Hope you're all doing well. Yes, I decided last minute to change what the TTRPG was going to be today, because I was like, I need something short, because again, I've got things. I'm busy, but I want to stream. I want to do some stuff, and this came into my box a couple of days ago, and I was like, you know what? Let's go and have a look at what Parable Games' latest offering is. So there you go. I'm just going to jump right into it. So thank you if you're here watching or you're watching later. I very much appreciate it. This is an accountability stream in which, it's a mixture of like reading along, seeing what is new and exciting out there in the world of TTRPGs. It also helps me learn to sight read, because I'm trying to be a budding voice actor. I believe that's the term you call us these days. I'm just going to turn down the music a little bit for me. Very ominous, isn't it? All right, team. So today we are looking at a brand new TTRPG that's not yet out. We are looking at the quick start for this. It's launching in, I think I want to say like 18 days, like 3 weeks or something like that. We're looking at Sisterhood, a TTRPG of hard-boiled nuns fighting evil. Firstly, yes. Tick, we love that sort of stuff. It is the latest offering from Parable Games, which is a UK TTRPG independent publisher. We've covered some of their stuff before on my podcast, What Am I Rolling? We've had interviews with the game designer Charlie Mendez, who was one of the main writers, I should say, for Shiver, a horror RPG, which you could use that system to play any kind of horror story you would like, whether it is your slasher, a creature feature, historical, futuristic, whatever kind of horror you want to do, you could do it. And it's got a really interesting system. He also created, not just him, sorry, but the team also created Do Not Play This Game, which is a solo TTRPG, almost like a chain letter type of game, which was really fun. We've played it on this channel just as a sort of an example. I wish the recording was slightly better, so I would use it for content, but it is what it is, isn't it? And they've also got some other ones coming out. I know there is like a sort of lo-fi mech one that is in the works, another solo TTRPG game. But this is one that's caught my eye. It's the latest one they've got coming out, and they've got a whole bunch of stuff on Patreon as well, so I highly recommend checking this stuff out. So yeah, so as always, we're going to go in, we're going to look at what we can see in terms of the marketing around it, which is very little just now, because obviously it is like the sort of taster teaser before the Kickstarter, or the backer kit, sorry, it's on backer kit, it goes live in a couple of weeks. And then we're going to look at the actual quick start itself, like what do we like about it, what do we think, if anything, can be improved about it, and stuff in terms of accessibility. Like, again, this is its first sort of like, it's really interesting, because again, it's just come out, this sort of quick start, and it's interesting, like, oh, what actually catches the eye? And I will say straight off, like, the art is amazing. So I'm like, I will absolutely look at this as well. But some things at the top of the session, as always, I am not a game designer, even though I read a lot of games, I run a lot of games, and I play a lot of games now currently, which is really exciting. As a result, like, I feel like I've got a good sense of what works well for me as a player and a GM in terms of game style, but that doesn't mean I know what works necessarily. As always, I read a lot of games, but I don't necessarily play test or play through, and sometimes, as I've discovered, sometimes playing the game is actually a really good experience for it, and absolutely, if you're able to do so, then you should absolutely play through all these games. But I also think reading them is important as like the first step, because it gets you excited. I'm going to change the music. God, it's like organ in the background. Ominous organ. Let me see if I can find... I can always go to my Strixhaven. There we go. Let's go for the Waltz of the Books, which is slightly more gentle. There we go. Wholesome. What else? Number 2 is that I've not been sponsored by Parable Games to look at this quick start. I'm a massive fan of their work. I will say that at the top. I've interviewed Charlie a few times. I've seen them at conventions. I've got their beautiful alt cover of their Shiver Gothic books. It's fantastic. I love it. But I've not been sponsored to do this off my own free will. And also the quick start, what you can get is for free if you sign up to the backer kit to get notifications about it. So that's where you can get it from, and that's where the link in the both the show notes, the doobly-doo, I believe that is the technical terms, the doobly-doo, but also in the chat that I've just put in, that's where you can sign up. So you, the way you get this quick start is that you sign up, and then you will be taken to a Google folder to download the stuff. So that's where I've got this from. And finally, content warnings. Yes, let's face it, there's going to be evil, there's going to be nuns, there's probably going to be a lot of violence, there's probably going to be a lot of I would say sort of maybe religious iconography, or sort of like juxtaposing of sort of stereotypes perhaps, and maybe a lot more, certainly on the gothic horror side. I believe, I can't remember the exact name of it, is it Indica, the video game that came out last year, which I have played. It was very good. No idea about the ending. It's in that kind of vibe of like nuns doing nun things, but there's some weird things going on from around as well. So if that's not your boat for whatever reason, absolutely fine. Come back to another stream if and when you're ready. I very much appreciate it. And if anything else comes up, I'll make sure to flag it as we go. All right, let's go straight over then to get rid of Big Fiona face to let's do the backer kit. So as always, we always look at where you can get the quick start or where you can get the book first, because I always say this, and I know I'm like a broken record. The reason we do this is so that we can look and see it in context. Where we can get this thing, where what we like about it, what catches our eye, and instantly is this big banner image at the top: the Sisterhood, the TTRPG, or Hardboiled Nuns Fighting Evil. Great artwork there by Ben Alexander, their resident artist. I love it. It's that sort of really sort of almost like is it woodcut, lino cut, sort of like a side profile there. We've got the nun taking a bit of a smoke, whilst another nun has someone in a headlock there. Headlock. We'll get there. Oh. And so so that's at the top. So instantly you know what this is about. I love this little edge around the side. There's almost like a medieval sort of border with like vines or thorns. Love that. And it's very readable as well. Sisterhood here. You got the sort of the blood red of the smoke with little faces in there just peeking out. Very cool. So yeah, I love this vibe. I think it's really great. It stands out. That sort of, it's interesting use of white, right? That stands out, and also the yellow as well. So I think that's really good. But yeah, this is where you can log in. I will say, once you sign up, if you come back to this page, you'll instantly go to the Google folder. So it's not very helpful for me, so that's why I've currently got it in a incognito browser so people can see. So here we go. What a cool book image. That's such a cool, like, so it's that one of the nun having a cigarette, also praying, I think, and then the smoke with the face in it looks really good. So a part of Pocketopia, launching March 13th. So I don't really know what Pocketopia is, and maybe I should look this up before the stream, but I know quite a few people are also doing it then, and I think it's because Zine Month is February on Kickstarter, and maybe Pocketopia is more a backer kit sort of thing, again, sort of like supporting other indie TTRPGs. And of course, Zines obviously are much smaller. Again, they're sort of more rough and ready, quotation marks there, obviously, shorter games, whereas I think Sisterhood is supposed to be a much bigger game. So there you go. So I will look this up afterwards, because I do not know what Pocketopia is, and I know quite a few people have been sending me some press releases about games sort of launching because of Pocketopia, right? Anyway, it says here. Now, one thing I would say as well, this is all one image. There's no alt text here. That is a shame, obviously. But again, I don't know if that's just the way backer kit like splash pages are. So that is unfortunate. So I would have very much appreciate that I can click onto it, which presumably will take me to signing up or something, or logging in. But it says here, Sisterhood is a tabletop role-playing game where you take on the role of grizzled nuns looking for a fight. Become part of a secret order charged with saving the world from demonic incursions. Great. 2 lines, we know what this game is about, right? Also, the word of grizzled nuns, I like that. It gives you a certain vibe instantly that maybe is juxtaposed with some other sort of tropes we see of nuns. I'm thinking like Sound of Music. I'm thinking of maybe Sister Act as well. Those are really probably old references. But I very much appreciate it. It also reminds me of, it's just because I read it recently, Eat the Reich. In it, obviously, your main sort of characters in it are vampires and a secret order in that, but the little bit of lore in it is that there's a secret order of nuns that help supplies the blood in some way. And so I kind of like that idea of that, again, because I was like, I would love to know more about them. They sound really fun and cool. And so now we've got a TTRPG about nuns, So it says here, sinners beware, underneath the nun holding or subduing maybe a parishioner in a headlock. I also love how this nun has like sleeves of clearly like Jesus, sleeve tattoos of Jesus, and another, maybe an angel there, I think. I like, and it's so simple, this image, right? Very cool. As civilization recovers from World War II, so we've got time period, amazing, a fresh evil was beginning to awaken, an ancient foe looking once more to gain a foothold on our world. Demons. Perhaps the turmoil of the war, the sheer scale of death and destruction emboldened them. Or perhaps they just wanted to strike when humankind was at its weakness. Either way, the church was unprepared. Drawn together to combat this ancient evil, a people turned to the church, to the Sisterhood. Sisterhood is a collection of badass nuns, armed to the teeth and ready to rain eternal damnation on the denizens of hell and their followers. With knuckle dusters, rifles, and flamethrowers, you'll play one of these divine defenders to take to war, seeking out wretched cultists and their demonic leaders for a heavenly smackdown. Great, look at this. Look at these images here about two nuns. One that's got sort of like a belt with shotgun shells on each one's there in prayer, and another nun there with two golden guns out. Amazing. And they've got a new system for this as well. The cross-combat system developed for Sisterhood offers a brand new TTRPG experience, allowing players a new level of tactical engagement without the need for giant tables worth of maps. Interesting. Ooh, look at this one here. This image here of a big individual broad with lots of swords. I think probably on their back, but maybe stabbed into them. I don't know. And a whole bunch of medals, and they've got a gas mask on as well. Kick some demon butt on your coffee table or in your local game store as your nuns traverse the mortal world and demon realms as they burn, shoot, and punch those demons back to where they came from. Now, what's interesting, I think, we won't go too much further into that because obviously I want to get on with a quick start, is that I know there's another TTRPG. Oh, there we go. Oh, 14 days. I'm sorry, it's 2 weeks away, this game. One thing I'd say is that I know there's another game coming out by Soul Muppet. I'm going to look them up now. Soul Muppet. Oh, good if I could spell Soul Muppet, huh? They've got another game coming out. Mad as Hell. There you go. Yeah, they've got Mad as Hell coming out, which is about demons and anti-capitalism, all that sort of thing. So it's interesting how this is kind of in the zeitgeist just now, this idea of like dealing with demons, but these two companies who both based in Nottingham in the UK have gone two different ways about it. I don't think there's any sort of like suggestion of copying or anything like that, but I like the idea there's one's like now in the present and one's gone nuns after World War II. So there you go. So that's another one I'd recommend looking out for. It's coming soon. I'm not entirely sure when that is. I don't know if it's a part of Pocketopia. Maybe it is the Mad as Hell one. But there you go. All right, let's go straight into it then. Like I said, we're going to look at the quick start. She says, try to find all the buttons. There we go. All right. So yeah, so this is the quick start. It is 29 pages long, so it's quite short for a quick start. And I'd say the majority of it is actually a quick start adventure. In the download folder, you get 4 character sheets, pre-gen characters. You also get 2 sheets of 2 images, essentially, which we'll see in the book itself. I had a quick flick through, and I don't know if you're supposed to print them out and put them together because they do connect together, or if they're sort of just something to have on hand. But it's just demonstrating, I think, the combat system. I think that's what it is. But it looks very interesting. Now, as always, so let me just check. Of course, there's no alt text. I know I bang on about it every time. It's a shame because this image is so cool. It's sort of like, again, on the side here we have it says Sisterhood, with a little cross on it, and then quick start guide at the bottom, and then this image of a nun in prayer, holding on to her beads, holding on to their beads, again, don't know the gender, smoking, and in the red smoke coming up from their cigarette, we've got like little faces, screaming faces with teeth on it. They also seem to have like a halo with spiked thorns on it, which I think I quite like as well. I mean, it's pretty cool. I will say, and I think it's a shame, I understand maybe why, again, I always bang on about this, about having your name on the front cover. I think here in the corner, on the bottom right-hand corner, this is where you'd put the logo for Parable Games, right? I know they won't have it in the main book. It's just because I think when you've got PDFs, and like an image like this, which is so badass, really love it. The colour of it's great. you need, like, people are just going to take this image and then take it as their own, whereas I think if you just put your name on everything, people know. I'm like a teacher, put your name on everything. All right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. She says, trying to work out how the computer works because she's an old lady. There we go. So we've got these credits here at the top. So yeah, created by Charlie Mendez, one of two Mendezes. Barney Mendez there as well. The two brothers, essentially, who created Parable Games. Adam Holloway, who I don't know, but maybe they're a new writer to Parable Games. Artwork, Ben Alexander, yes, of course. Again, a very distinctive style there on that credit page. What I think is really interesting, actually, because again, we've got this stuff around the side here, like sort of like looks like I want to say even bits of like a window pane, maybe even like stained glass. That's really cool. But interesting how here at the top of the credits, they've got this like what looks like, I would say, a tea stain behind it, right? But it instantly draws your eye to it, and it doesn't like. I like it's not in a box, or if you like, it makes the text stand out, saying, "Oh, this is the credits," which is really good. We've also got all the usual sort of texting there about not showing it to people or legally distributing it. Whoops. Very cool. So just reading up stuff here. First published in Great Britain 2024. Interesting. All right, going straight on to the contents. The contents are hyperlinked. I can see that there with my my little cursor. And so yeah, what we've got intro. We've got what is the Sisterhood? Overcoming challenges. Help a sister out. Adding dice. We've got health, body and spirit, divinity, skills, combat, which is one big section there. Combat, and then so that's 8 chapters, and then we have the Lost Covenant. Covenant. Which is the action there, and then which is the quick start scenario there, and then we have the pre-made characters and the battle map. So total that's 10 chapters, these little sub-chapters in between. So yeah, here we go. So we only have 17 pages. Now this is the thing. I think that's amazing. Obviously we've yet to look into it. I suspect it's going to be 2 columns, but if you can boil down what you need to get across in your quick start in the first 17 pages of your quick start and the rest of it all good. That's brilliant. I like that because then it's not a lot of reading up front for the players if they want to find out a bit more. I think it looks really nice. I like the font for it as well. The sort of capitalized font. Yeah, that's the only thing I would say. And I know it seems silly, but like always credit where you get your fonts, lads. I always very much appreciate it because I'm like, oh, that's a really nice font. Where can I use that? I also like the theme of the black and yellow, the sort of gold thing going through. I think that's going to be a big motif going through. We can see the gold coming in through there. All right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. See how where we go for that. Oh, that's so much better. All right, so let's get started. So here it says, Introduction. Post-World War II, the Catholic Church saw an influx of members from all over the world and from many walks of life. Many of these new members were women who became nuns. Some joined for faith, others for refuge, and a handful to hide from a life they wanted to leave behind. But what the already war-torn world didn't know was that a fresh evil was beginning to awaken, an ancient foe looking once more to gain a foothold on our world. Demons. Perhaps the turmoil of the war, the sheer scale of death and destruction emboldened them. Or perhaps they just wanted to strike when humanity was at its weakness. Either way, the church was unprepared. Possession, cults, and demonic activity were soaring, many of the cases being completely new territory not covered by the extensive annals of the Vatican archives. Action had to be taken to keep this evil at bay, find its sources, and cast it back to whichever hell it came from. And thus the Sisterhood was born, a collection of nuns from all over the world, broad in their experience, varied in their faith, but all with one thing in common: a belief in demons and the fervent desire to stamp them out by any means necessary. Ooh, I like that. I'm thinking now of like, I know there's those horror films of like, not Possession, not that film, but like where you have like orders from the Vatican to go and do exorcisms and stuff like that. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting. But this is obviously a bit more action focused, maybe a bit more Inglourious Bastards sort of like vibes. You know what I mean? So what is Sisterhood? So Sisterhood is a tabletop role-playing game where you play a group of hard-boiled nuns fighting back against the powerful forces that want to end the world. Most players will take on the role of a sister. Great name. Obviously, love that. Fits in with the theme. A member of the clandestine. A member of the clandestine Sisterhood placed in teams to investigate, discover, and fight back against otherworldly evils. How you do this is up to you as a group. You can discover dark secrets, battle devious demons, and corrupt cultists, and talk to other people in the world of the game. The likelihood that the person role-playing is going to be be an actual nun is astronomically low. Player characters do not have to be anything at all like the people who are playing them. It's often a more enjoyable experience and rewarding experience for players to create characters entirely different to themselves. Explore a character and the story you would not normally be able to. That is one of the greatest joys of role-playing. Amazing. Yes, agree with that, 100%. Love that little line there. Oh my word. One player will take on the role of Mother Superior. Yes! Thank you. Give us a cool title as a facilitator. Amazing. Who acts as the story's architect, presenting the world and challenges to the players for them to overcome. The Mother Superior creates the stories for the characters, guiding them in their journey to overcome its challenges and dangers as they decide which paths they wish to explore. They can also act as the arbiter of the rules, making sure the game is played correctly and fairly and fun. It is their role to determine the results of the sisters' actions, narrating whatever the outcome may happen. They are as much a player as all the sisters, getting to role-play as everyone outside the secretive strike force. That's right, they get to play the bad guys. Gather your friends, don your wimples, and get ready to punch evil in its sneering face. Amazing. I think the only comment I have so far is just maybe you would make sure that you highlight, so like role of a sister in bold and a Mother Superior in bold. Again, just in bold in the game terms there. But I think someone's been listening to my Too Long Didn't Read. I love these names for sisters, for players and for GMs. Absolutely. Big fan. Overcoming challenges. So we're straight in, right? I guess for this quick start, we're not going to worry too much about character creation because obviously we've got the pre-gens for the quick start. But we're just in there straight away. We're not going to be like, cool, that's the vibe. Here's what the players do. And here's now the main game mechanic. Amazing. So when facing any challenge in Sisterhood, from searching for clues to shotgunning a demon, you're going to have to roll dice to find out what happens. This is known as a dice challenge, or DC, and it is very simple. Any action you take in a Sisterhood will align with one of your attributes and the dice size that is attached to it, determining what dice you will roll with. The 4 attributes are faith, cunning, empathy, and fortitude. So faith is spiritual power, resolve in the face of evil, what's happened there? Spiritual power, resolve in the face of evil, and well upon which to draw for using ancient relics. And I understand now. Determines your spirit's health. Then we've got cunning, logical thought and deduction, investigation of a mystery, decoding ciphers and dead languages, stealth and ranged combat. Then we have empathy, which is emotional connections. Empathy, again, an ability to charm, coerce and deceive others. And then finally we have fortitude, physical strength, resilient to damage, and overall athleticism. Determines your body's health. Interesting. Okay. I think they've got them in that order. Obviously, faith, I guess, is important to the vibes, and then cunning, empathy, and then fortitude, that physical strength's at the bottom there, so maybe indicating a less importance there. Because they're not in alphabetical order, these. So, the type of challenge and its difficulty will determine what dice you roll against. So, for example, say we want to boot down the door to get inside. Everyone's booting down doors recently. It's all about door checks. So to do that, that would be a fortitude roll. Now, our sister making the roll has a D10 in fortitude. And this is what they would roll for the check. The door is old and weak, so it could be a dice challenge 6 to represent an easy challenge. Oh, hello, Hogan. How are you doing, my friend? Glad to have you here. Both dice, the D10 for the sister and the 6 by Mother Superior, are rolled, and the highest result wins. Ah, okay, so everyone's rolling. I love that. So in this case, if the door rolled a 3 and the sister rolled an 8, the sister would be successful and boot the door open. In the case of a draw, the character performing the action always wins. Yes, I like that. It goes to the player. If the difference between the two results is high, we recommend adding some extra flavour or even a bonus effect to what happens to represent how far the sister has surpassed or dramatically failed the challenge. To give you a sense of how dice challenges should scale to represent difficulty, we have broken dice sizes. We've broken the dice sizes you'd roll as follows. So we've got from D4 all the way to D20. Interesting. So D4 is trivial. It's incredibly simple and easy to overcome. D6 is normal. So that's the normal difficulty. D8 is difficult. D10 is testing. D12 is hardcore. And D20 is apocalyptic. See, this is interesting because I would say the D20 is it gets more and more swingy as you go up because it's I don't know how like here at least it's like it's always going to be the most going to be a 4. It's I don't know. I think that's interesting. Dice challenges are, in the most part, opposed rolls, often for combat, seeking information from other characters and other checks where you find yourself in opposition to another character and their ability. Certain challenges can be set at a flat number that the players need to beat in order to succeed. So, for example, the sisters are hunting for a well-hidden key. It is a cunning DC 10 check. Though a superior could roll a DC 10 check or require require the players to beat a 10 on their result to succeed. Interesting. I like the flat numbers thing. I think that just needs a little bit of an edit there. Also, look at this. Again, I love the use of like the ink stains, the blue behind it to really enhance this image. I can see the image is a little bit blurry there. That's fine. Okay, so we've got help a sister out. So sometimes a challenge is difficult to overcome and assistance is required. There are a couple of ways to add more dice when rolling. So here are your options. So we have assistance from another sister. So offering to help another sister with their challenge is what Sisterhood is all about. Outside of combat at the Mother Superior's discretion, it allows the assisting sister to roll a d4 and add it to the main result. Yes. And then certain skills, relics, and blessings can also add dice of different sizes to a roll, so look out for those. So it's not like the highest roll of it is you're constantly adding to it. Okay. Blessings and curses. So gaining the upper hand or being dealt a bad one can be crucial to surviving an encounter with the demonic forces allied against you. Allayed against you? Allayed against you. Oh. If you are blessed, you will roll the next dice size up for the attribute. Ooh. If you find yourself cursed, you'll roll the next dice size down for that attribute. These effects can stack one on top of each other and can also cancel each other out. That's nice. I like that. Rather than rolling 2 and taking the higher or lower, I like the idea that you go lower or higher. The next dice size up or down. Then we have health, which is body and spirit. So fighting against evil is going to be a tough job, and getting hurt is unavoidable. Injury can be dealt not just to your physical being, however. It can begin to fray at your soul as well. Health, therefore, is tracked in 2 ways. We have body, determines the health of your physical being, while spirit is the health of your eternal soul. Restoring body. Healing items such as bandages, painkillers, and salves can all help restore the body and can mirror relics with restorative properties. Physical rest can also restore the body. This can happen in between stories when there is a long moment of respite over multiple days. Roll a d8 and restore that much to your body. Nice. Okay, I like that. I like that idea of like almost like a short rest in a way. Restoring spirit. So spirit is a trickier thing to recover. Rest, meditation, and prayer can all be and prayer can all be of help here, but only to a small degree. Ooh, missing a T there. This can happen in between stories when there is a long moment of respite over multiple days. Roll a d6 and restore that much to your spirit. Okay, nice. I wonder why d6 and d8. I guess it's trickier, right? It's a trickier thing. So, I like it. I think it also seems fairer than to say have a D6 for your physical rest and then a D4 for your spirit rest. So, certain relics may be able to restore spirit as well, but their presence in the world is rare. Defeating specific enemies and bringing threats to a satisfying close can also restore spirit as hope returns to you. Facing death. So if you lose all of your spirit, or all of your body or spirit points, you will collapse in the area you are currently in and begin to fight for your life. Death, the most elusive of the horsemen, appears in the distance and begins to approach. Ooh, I love that image. Very cool. Oh, I can hear the train in the distance. Maybe it's on stream as well. At the start of your turn, when fighting for your life, you will roll against death. If you lose all your body points, you will roll fortitude against death. If you lose all your spirit points, you will roll faith against death. Death starts with a d6. If win the roll off, you stay alive, but the dice size for death increases by 1 step. Each turn you roll again, and if you fail, you die. It's as simple as that. Now that is a very interesting. That's very interesting as a saving throw or something. I kind of like it. Oh, it's brutal for the players though. Like if you've got a D8 in say spirit, and then you roll it, you got a 6, and then they get a 5. I like it. I like the randomness of it. It feels very chaotic. Another sister or ally can attempt to heal you. They must roll their cunning against death's current dice size. If the sister wins, you are restored to 1 body or spirit point, but remain unconscious and cannot perform actions. If you're healed further through skills or items, you will regain consciousness and can rejoin the fight. Now that's interesting as well. I like it. It's all against this dice, so lots of this system is just opposing rolls. So the GM does have to roll for this, which I don't mind too much. I like it. It feels quite involved, but maybe there's a little bit more. Maybe it's a bit more heady than maybe people are expecting it to be. All right, divinity. So at your darkest moments, when all hope seems lost, the powers of the divine can intervene. Each sister has free divinity, or div, at level 1 and can gain more as they level up. They can be spent in several ways to turn the tide in the Sisterhood's favour. So we've got some here. We've got divine intervention. So sometimes fate needs to lend a hand. Spending 1 divinity allows the player to roll a d6 and add it to the main result. Other sisters cannot spend their divinity to help another sister's roll. So yeah, it's got to be individual. Specific skills. So certain powerful skills require the use of divinity in order to be used. So yeah, so you pay for it in order to use the skill. Dice of divinity. A sacrifice to be made by all sisters in the time of need. The group of sisters can decide to spend 1 divinity each to replace a main die with a d20. This has to be a unanimous decision, needing all the sisters' faith behind it for it to be rolled. Use it wisely. Interesting. Again, it's very swingy, that. Relics and unique weapons. Holy power needs to flow through specific items and weapons in order for them to work, or use upgraded attacks. Nothing rocks more than spending divinity to set your sword alight with holy flame. Okay, so ultimately, just breaking these down for what we've got here for the divinity pool, so we can choose to either use specific skills, unlock our weapons, like higher upgrade, and then, so those are more like, I don't want to say passive, but it's like more like, oh, these are things to do, but then I guess they're not mechanical, not rolling dice for them, where we have divine intervention and dice of divinity. And then the dice of divinity is a communal sort of thing. Okay. Excuse me. Recovering divinity. The amount that the divine can intervene and your connection to it has a limit, and must be recharged. There are several ways to do this. We do resting, you roll a d4 and recover that much divinity. I think you start at, I see, you start at 3 and then I guess it goes up, right? Prayer. You can spend actions to recharge divinity through a simple prayer, see page 14. And then past. Engaging with your past and using it to your advantage can recharge divinity. Now, I don't know what that means necessarily. Presumably, maybe you've got some prompts from your background, and it's like, well, I roleplayed in this way. Can I get my divinity points back, you know? Oh, so I have a question as well. Recharge divinity. So here, resting, you roll a dice, but do you also roll a dice for prayer and past, or do you get a set number back? That's the question I have. Alright, skills. So slaying demons and fighting the tide of the apocalypse needs more than 2 fists and a handful of bullets. Your sister needs to develop their skills in order to fight back against those who would seek the world's end. Oh, missing an apostrophe there. For this quick start version of Sisterhood, we've provided 4 pre-built sisters for you to play with, their skills already determined. The full version of this game will have an array of skills to build your own custom kick-ass sister. Nice. Combat, fighting evil. Taking the fight directly to evil is a dangerous and bloody business, one the Sisterhood will have prepared for you, training you in a specific set of tactics, the ways of the cross. This is represented by 2 battle maps, the cross and the pentagram. These are placed opposite one another so the brawl sections touch. This is the battlefield where all combat will take place in the game. Oh, how interesting! Considering that we've looked at 2 games recently, well, I'm aware of at least, Hollows and Prequel, that also use battle maps, or like areas of effect and stuff like that. So that is very interesting. This is a visual way to represent any battlefield you may find yourself throughout your stories, and communicate the tactics you are employing to everyone at the table, including Mother Superior. It is a tool to help you work together, keep track of combat, and keep things fast-flowing, clear, and cinematic. Okay, so again, it's indicating to me that this is a game that should be played in person. And you kind of mentioned that, yeah, you could play it on your coffee table or on in your local game store. It didn't really say online. Again, I think it's easy enough to do online if it's got, if you've got these battle maps, you put them on a VTT. But then the question then is like, will it have like a VTT support? Will there be like, oh, here's a Roll20 module or a tabletop simulator thing? That's what I just, or even an alchemy thing, just because I just saw an email from Alchemy there. So, Way of the Cross. Here we go, it's at the bottom here, we can see it. Using tokens or markers to represent your sister, place yourself upon the cross and move it around as your position and tactics change. Each section of the cross represents a different area/tactic being deployed on the battlefield. Certain abilities, relics, and weapons work better in different sections of the cross, so make sure to look how your sister is built and the tools at their disposal. So there you go here. So the brawl. So this. Let me zoom out actually so people can see it. There you go. So this would be like this big map bit here would be put out on a table. Let me see if I can zoom out even more. There you go. Kind of got the Dark Blessing, safety of here, and then you got the pentagram up here, and then the crosses. So you would start here, with your sister, and move up. Interesting, isn't it? It's again. I'm just thinking because Hollows is like, I think it's circles, concentric circles, and then Prequel is like a 6x6 grid, and it sounds like the Mendez brothers were like, nah, make it 2 sides of A4. I mean, I think it looks cool. We'll see how difficult it is to work in. So then it says, it is set up opposite the pentagram where the dark forces of the enemy are deployed. Think of the cross and pentagram as 2 sides of a brutal firefight. The cross is where the sisters have dominance and are strongest, and the pentagram is the same for the enemy. With these 2 sides combined, you have a tactical map of any battle you encounter whilst playing Sisterhood. When sisters cross over into the pentagram and to take the fight to the enemy, they will be cursed. Oh, that's a lower dice roll for every roll they make. This is the same for the enemy if they step into the cross. Knowing when to push your assault forward or hunker down can be the key to survival. Be warned, different enemies will target other areas of the cross and try to move the sisters around to disrupt their tactics and thwart their attacks. You should do the same. Think tactically, communicate with your team, and fight dirty. The cross sections. So now we're going to go into different details. So you see here with the at the top with the pentagram, it's got like in the middle, it's got ritual in the middle of the pentagram, and then you've got 2 long points, then you've got 2 near points, and then brawl, and then we've got flank, vantage, reinforce, hidden. And then same for the cross, we've got brawl, near, long, vantage, flank, hidden, reinforce at the back, and then safety. And then terrain here, which I'm not entirely sure what that does. And dark blessing, safety. We'll go into all of it, I'm sure. So, there we go. Navigating the way of the cross is the secret to the Sisterhood's success in the war against, there's a bit of a gap there, the darkness. So what are the different sections of the cross and what do they represent? So first we have Brawl. So here we got it at the top of the page here and the top and the bottom of the point here for the pentagram. Being directly in the thick of it, this is where the fight is up close and personal and two sides of the battlefield are joined together. Melee weapons and your mitts are most useful here. Then we have flanks, so we've got these two bits here flanking and these two slightly circular bits here, also flanks. So this is trying to outmaneuver your opponent can be vital for survival. This section can be used for bolstering damage with certain weapons, deploying tactics that move enemies and helping other sisters maintain the upper hand. A successful attack here can convey one of the following options. So we have a +1 to damage, +1 damage to the attack, reposition target to an adjacent section, and then curse the target for the next round. After the attack has been made, successful or not, you must place yourself in Brawl or Near. Near is, yeah, so you could do it and then go back. Yeah, flank, yeah, so these are Near. Interesting. Okay. So, what is Near? So, staying near the fight but not in the eye of the storm can stop the fight getting overcrowded. Melee weapons with a longer reach and ranged weapons with a shorter spread are very effective here. We then have Vantage, so these two bits here and these two bits here of the circle and the pentagram. Getting up high or in a position of tactical value can help provide support and a rain of pain down on your enemies. This position often provides bonus protection and damage boosts for range attacks. Each round that you are in a vantage point, you may choose one of the following effects. You gain a blessing on attacks, so you roll one dice size higher, or enemies who attack you are cursed for the round. Interesting, you don't move back at all, I guess because you're safe currently. Sitting further out of the fight is this section is for long-range fighters who need to stay out of the chaos and provide covering fire. So long is here at the back of the cross, and then long is these 2 points here for the pentagram. Excuse me, very tiring. So, Reinforce, an area of high defense where help can be administered. This section provides extra defenses and a safer spot to administer healing and support from. Attacks made against you whilst in this section are cursed, so one die size lower. And then we've got hidden. We've got some hidden bits here. An area of high defense where help. Oh no, that's not it. A stealthy way to approach the enemy. To enter hidden, you must roll a cunning challenge against the enemy's highest cunning dice size. If successful, you enter hidden. Whilst in hidden, you cannot be attacked. From here, you can do a number of actions, such as reposition into any adjacent section, attack from hidden. You will be blessed and have a +1 damage to attacks made from this section. Once you have attacked, you must reposition yourself into an adjacent section that is not Brawl. So here, at the top here, hidden, you'd be probably flank or near, and probably the same here. Oh, just flank. Flank or Brawl. Oh no, it said no Brawl, so it'd be flank or near. So maybe near's there as well? I'd say so. If another enemy enters the same hidden section or a skill is used to try and spot you successfully, you will be revealed. When this happens, you will be repositioned into Brawl and lose 1 action. Ooh, 1 action, huh? Alright. Safety. It requires a reposition move. Oh wait, it requires a reposition action to move from safety from reinforcement. Oh, reinforce, sorry. Whilst in safety, you cannot be attacked. You may use another reposition action to flee the battlefield, and once you have fled, you cannot return. Interesting. So you'd be here, safe. No, what was it? Terrain? No, safety, right? Yeah, safety. And then that's 1 turn, and then it's like you choose to flee on the next turn. Terrain. So this can provide modifiers for the whole battlefield, which can make certain pathways more difficult and certain actions riskier. Make sure to be aware of the terrain you are fighting and its effects when facing the enemy. So that's all on here. Ah, wait, of course this must be just all the cross ones, right? So what about the pentagram? So this is the inversion of the cross and is used to show the enemy's side of the battlefield. The pentagram works the same way as a cross apart from a few devilish differences. The horsemen and their cults have a few extra tricks up their sleeve. Here we've got, it is the exact same, but you've got some extra things. We've got rituals, so certain demonic powers require a ritual in order to be used. These rituals can require a certain type of enemy, actions, and sacrifice, all being done in the ritual area on the pentagram. And then we've got Dark Blessing. One of the 5 horsemen, or a dark demon, or a powerful demon, sorry, may provide a blessing to their cult, which modifies the battlefield in their favour. Okay, so far so easy. The main game mechanic's easy enough, and then whilst it feels maybe a little bit overwhelming, like each of these sections are actually pretty okay. There's only like 1 or 2 where if you've done this, you get repositioned. It's not too bad. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sleepy. Alright, actions in combat. So during combat, each sister will have 3 actions they can use during a round. They can use any combination of actions in a turn, including repeating the same type of action. Repeating the same kind of action. Some of these actions are reserved for their combat turn, but some can be activated on another sister's turn. See assist. So almost like a reaction. Once they have used up their actions, their turn is over. So we have reposition. So to navigate the battlefield, you must use an action to do so. You can move between sections that are connected by a long edge, but not a corner. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, if you were near, you couldn't jump to hidden. You'd have to be flank and then hidden. Interesting. Okay. Then we have attack. Use an attack to deal some damage. To attack, choose an enemy to target, and then, if in range, choose a weapon to use. This will determine which attribute you will roll with. Each enemy rolls with either their cunning or fortitude in response to defend. If you roll above their result, your attack lands and they take the set damage. But if you roll under, you fail and no damage is dealt. When a sister is attacked, this works the same. If you decide to make another attack in a row, you must roll the next die step down. Oh, that's quite fun. This could stack. So for example, my first attack could be using a d10, the second would be a d8, and the third a d6. So if you just went all out attacking, that's what would happen. Then we have assist. This is like the reaction thing. So a sister can use an action to add a d4 to another's roll as long as they think of something that may feasibly help them achieve what they are trying to do. This can be made out of their own turn, but also uses up an action. Keep positioning in mind when the sisters are in relation to one another. Okay, so this can be used out of their own turns, but uses up an action. So if you've used up all 3 things, are you out? I'm guessing you're out of actions. So you still would. So maybe you keep it back. Maybe you only do 2, and then you do 1 out of your turn, right? It still uses up an action, or does it use up an action for the next turn? So then instead of when you start with 3, you start with 2 instead. Use. Activating a healing item, useful relic, or objective on the battlefield will require the use action to be made. Reloading weapons is also uses this action. Escape. Leaving the battlefield and survive to fight another day. Once escaped, the player can no longer be damaged or return to the battlefield. This action can be taken when in the reinforcement section. Ooh, and then we have Pray, which uses 3 of your actions. You either use your simple prayer to recharge your divinity or another from the Sisterhood prayer book. For a simple prayer, roll your faith dice to restore DP and or spirit equal to your result. Oh, spirit's misspelt there. If not in reinforced, the enemies will be blessed on their attacks against you until your next turn. So wait, what does this do? Use your simple prayer to recharge your divinity. Okay. Or another from the school prayer book. What is it? Okay, so it just recharges your divinity. Okay. Okay. divinity points or spirits. Wait, what's spirit? Is that your health? I mean, you have 2 health, right? It's just your spirit equal to your result. Okay. The drop. Before we start combat, we have to decide who has got the drop on who. In some situations, it is clear which side has the drop. Maybe the sisters have snuck up on the cultists as they seek to perform the ritual, or the sisters were ambushed while they were sleeping. Otherwise, both sides rolled their highest cunning dice available from any sister or enemy that's about to be in play. The highest roll wins, meaning they have the drop on the other side. This allows them to use free actions with any unit before the combat starts. They also choose which of their first unit to activate and have it on their turn. Oh wait, hang on. They will also choose their first unit to activate and have on their turn. Right. And then after the drop and the first actions, needs a space there, are concluded, control will pass to the other side, who will activate one character under their side, and this will continue to alternate until all sisters have been activated. If the enemy outnumbers the sisters, they may all activate their unactive units in a horde phase to bring the combat round to a close. Any units in the horde phase will only have 2 actions on their activation as they scrabble to keep up with the ever-changing battlefield. Right, I understand. So if you had 7 little guys, enemies, but you only had 4 players, you'd be like, say, enemy went first. So enemy, player, enemy, player, enemy, player. We'd have a couple left over, so you just have them all go at the end. So that's quite interesting. And yeah, they have less actions because otherwise the action economy will be pretty wild. All right, finishing a combat. Combat ends when all the enemies are dead, escaped, or surrendered. And this goes the same for the sisters, although the fate that awaits them may not be as merciful as if they'd been beaten. Some fights are difficult, insurmountable even. Do not feel bad if you need to escape a fight to try and win the war against evil another day. Okay. Prayers. So a sister of the order must rely on her wits, her tenacity, and her faith to survive against the myriad of threats that assault the righteous. Whether those threats are of the otherworldly or striking from a little closer to home, sometimes will alone will not be enough to win the day. When all looks lost, it's time to pray. Prayer is an action in the Sisterhood. Prayer as an action in Sisterhood uses up all 3 actions in combat, but provide powerful effects. They can be used to heal, cause harm, or increase the chances of success when undertaking a daunting task. In this quick start version, all the pre-made sisters have a unique prayer for you to wield alongside the simple prayer. Oh, that's cool. I like that. To begin with, all sisters have access to the simple prayer of the Sisterhood. This will use up all 3 of your actions. Roll your fate dice to restore divinity and or spirit equal to your result. If not reinforced, the blessed will have the enemies will be blessed on their attacks against you until your next turn. So we've already had that here somewhere, didn't we? I think we just repeated ourselves a couple of times with what prayer does earlier. Okay. I do like this at the bottom here, though. The prayer of Sisterhood, which is, I will not balk in the face of evil. My spirit will remain resolute. My sword sharp and swift. I will have no fear of the darkness, for evil shall fear me wherever I step, and the burning light in my wake. That's pretty cool. I like that. I would encourage the players to recite that when they were doing the prayer. Absolutely. I think that's great. All right, onto the homeward stretch. Oh no, not weapons. Blah. So, weapons. The cults you face will be heavily armed and packing demonic power on their side, so you're going to need to tool up. There are many different kinds of weapons in this war against the apocalypse, but let's start with the most common as an example. Yeah, bloody mitts. So here we've got fists, we've got fortitude. I see it's an example here of what the fists are. We've got fists, and then here's like the other sort of stat block that the weapons would use. So we would use the attribute would be fortitude for fists. Damage would be 1 if it's successful. The range is 0, so you have to be up close to them. Special, the old 1-2. If you land your first attack, you may make another immediately after without using an action. That's pretty nice. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward in terms of like what the stat block for weapons would look like. The range of a weapon determines how many adjacent sections you can reach, and this is represented by numbers of 0 to 5. The steps are calculated like repositioning and must be connected to the long sides of the map. Ah. A breakdown of the ranges here will tell you what you can target and what kinds of weapons you will commonly find in these range categories. So here in range 0, the target must be in the same section as you. This is for close quarter weapons such as knuckle dusters, knives, and your mitts. I don't know what. Oh, it's range 0. I see. And then range 1, the target can be in an adjacent section. Melee weapons within reach, such as spears, halberds, and staffs, all fall into this area. Range 2 can be 2 sections away, so shotgun. Range 3 can be 3 sections away, so pistols tend to be this range. Range 4, the target can be 4 sections away from you. Rifles, bows, and long barrel guns all fit here. And then 5, the target can be 5 sections away from you. Sniper rifles and scoped weaponry. There you go. Alright, enemies. The variety of enemies the Sisterhood will face is great. Demons and cultists, angels and the divine, both sides have enclaves of rebellion that lust for the end of the war. That's a very long sentence, isn't it? How do enemies work? I'm so glad you asked. Enemies behave very much like sisters do on the battlefield. They have 3 actions they can take when activated. Excuse me. Enemies behave very much like sisters do on the battlefield. They have 3 actions they can take when activated. That's repeated itself there, right? Yeah. Enemies behave very much like... Yeah, it absolutely has repeated itself. That first sentence is just repeated. Oh, that's a shame. They have 3 actions they can take when they activated and can make use of the advantages of the cross and the pentagram. One key difference is that the enemies only have body points to track. Some enemies sacrifice their body points to power unique skills. This is usually the case for anything otherworldly. The damage taken representing the drain it takes for them to use the powers on this earthly plane. We've included an example below showing how a stat block is designed along with a simple enemy to show how it looks when being used. So here we have the name of the enemy, and here it's this neophyte cultist who's humanoid. Affliction, so here's a horseman cultist. That's who they're loyal to. A description of who they are in the role in the world. So here it's a lowly follower of the cult, fodder in the battle for the apocalypse's beginning. Body points here is 4, and then you got the attributes. You've got faith D4, empathy D4, cunning D6, fortitude D6, and then you have attacks and skills. So attack here we've got a dagger, which uses a fortune roll. So it would be a D6 to roll with your dagger, and you have to be in the same space as them. That's the range, and then 2 damage to your body. Skills here, Enrage, Sacrifice, may spend 2 body points to re-roll and missed attack with a blessing. And then we have one down here which is Cunning, this pistol, which has the range of 3 but the damage of 2 body. Simple enough. And then it goes straight into the scenario. We'll have a flick through because already. Oh wow, that was quick, wasn't it? So there you go. Let's see if there's any. Oh, look at these character sheets, huh? Oh, the character sheets are pretty cool. Oh, I will say there's a little bit of a black bit up here, black artifact thing, which is not on the other sheets there. But and oh, is it screen readable? Oh no, I don't think it's screen readable. This picture, that's a shame. Oh, but I mean, maybe hang on. Let me go check my. I did download. Did I download the others? I've got the others here, so let's see if I'll just open a character sheet. Oh, that is screen readable. Phew. Okay, so the quick start version, they're images, but then the actual pre-made ones, they are screen readable. Oh, as much as one can be, but yes, phew. Okay, that was good. yeah, look, you can see that's an image here. You can see it's a little bit pixelated on my screen. Ooh, very pixelated on my screen. Gosh, that's not good, is it? And then you got the bit at the back here. Thank you for playing Sisterhood. And then you've got a QR code to lead us presumably to the little website and stuff like that. Well, there you go. That is Sisterhood. What do we make of it? What do we think? Let me zoom out a little bit. I think it's a good start. I think simple mechanic, very quick. It's been a while since I've rolled a lot of dice as a GM. Like sometimes I do roll, but not all the time. So and if I do roll, it's probably for creating like prompts and creating like stories, etc. So this is different. There's a lot of it as a post test, which I think is good. It's the same mechanic for everything. Great. The vibes are very good. I think I would like a little bit more about the world, like an example order, like maybe a couple of NPCs. Like, is there a hierarchy? I assume there would be if it's a Catholic church. There'd be structures, like are there? I guess again with a pre-made character. Let's have a look at it. Past is they were a resistance fighter. Oh yeah, we didn't really find out what the past stuff does, did we? Past skill. Yeah, I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit to what this is. So, oh, maybe can I? We can't show much. Oh, wrong thing. Ooh, no. Hang on. Yes, so at the top here, it says the name, we've got the age, and the past of resistant fighter, and then it says past skill. You gain +1 rolls for entering advantage and attacking from hidden sections. And you got some other skills there, but it had something about the past in it, didn't it? Like, you would gain divinity points for doing stuff with your past, right? Sorry, I'm trying to think what it is. It's facing deaf divinity. There you go. Engaging with your past and using it to your advantage can help recharge. I wonder if that needs to go into a bit more detail, perhaps. Recharging divinity. Did it say how many points we would gain back if we did a prayer? Oh, you would roll your faith dice to restore your divinity and/or spirit equal to your. So you would. Is that how you heal your spirit points? Hang on, sorry, I'm zooming up and down. I think this is important. Restoring body. Rest and prayer. So yes, you would restore spirit by doing the prayer there. I think that needs to be included there as well, that you do a prayer and then see page whatever to restore your spirit. That's different to restoring body. Okay. Yeah, I like the vibes of this. I definitely would love to see this mechanic in gameplay in play. Because I've played a game recently where it was like, you could choose what die type you wanted, and obviously the bigger the die, the more likely you would succeed. But also it was just a lot swingier, and so that's why I'm a bit like, oh, I don't know about it. Apocalypse, it might be difficult. I don't think it would be. Like, what if you keep rolling 2s and 3s, So, but I like it. It's different, right? It stands out that it's different. I like the prayer idea. I like the vibes of it. I would like a little bit more on the lore of it. Like, why? Like, we got the concept, very quick, simple. But I'm curious. Yeah, obviously the core book, you probably have a bit more about the NPCs and stuff like that. Obviously, we've not looked at the quick start scenario because we don't want to spoil it for people who would like to play it through. Yes, I think there's that. I like the artwork's great. I really love the artwork. I think Ben Alexander's art is always amazing when I see it. It's really got the vibes going for it. I do think, again, happens to us all. I think a quick proofread, as always, as we go through, because we did spot a couple of typos and formatting errors as I was reading it through. These things happen, but I hope they do an update before it goes live, just to make sure they've got that. It's just a couple of things, I think. Yeah, would I run this for where? I definitely like the concept of it. I wonder, again, I've not looked at the back of kit in full detail. Like, is there going to be anything additional? Like, is there a stretch goal for an alchemy or anything like that? Anything VTT style? or having resources to make it easily to play online with the because this is the thing that battle map, as very cool as it is, do not get me wrong, I really like the concept of it. That's really big to be putting on a screen, right? That you could see easily. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of scrolling and moving stuff around. I think maybe this is just me, because obviously I have my screens in landscape mode rather than portrait. I think maybe if you maybe I would shift it onto one side. Obviously, you get rid of the star and the pentagram thing, the way it's shaped, perhaps. If you shift it onto its side and then the text is sort of rotated a little bit, then you can have more space for it. That's the only thing I could think of. Just because I like it feels like this is an in-person game, right? Because of this map, this battle map area. I don't know how well it would translate digitally, without, again, a lot of like, where did they go? Oh, I don't know where this is, etc. Yeah, I like it because I think it's starting this part of this sort of current sort of wave of like tactical combat and storytelling. So the majority of this is around the combat. I would love to know, what the past stuff is. Is it a flashback? Is it recalling a memory? Because Eat the Right does something similar with the vampire stuff. Is that you can use like a memory flashback to help you in the moment. Obviously, like lots of games do that. Also, The Between does that as well, when you sort of flash back to a moment and it's like how your character came to be. Obviously, I know this quick start isn't talking about like how do we create it's just you got those pre-gens. I like the bullet points thing. Like, I know this is just more about layout. I think it's easy to read. I think it's very strong. It's got all the information there, and I like it. I think it's easy to read. Maybe the text could be a little bit bigger, perhaps. But overall, I think it's done the job of what it means to do. It's get people excited. It shows a little bit of the artwork. It'd be nice to have had some more artwork of maybe, of the creatures we're fighting. Maybe that's one there. Yeah, just because here we go. So like stuff of the enemies and stuff like that. It'd be nice to have some actually artwork of the creatures that you fight, or the rangers and stuff like that. Here we've got in this particular mission, we've got Neophyte cultist ranger, machine gun team leader. It sounds like it's a lot of humanoid creatures. I guess it's demons possessing you, right? That's what the sort of vibe is. I'm best of luck. I hope it does well. I like the concept. Like I said, I know it's maybe not for everyone. There's been quite a lot of maybe you don't wish to play a game that sort of is doing a fictionalized version of a real world religion. Perhaps there's that as well. But I think it'll be interesting. I wonder, in terms of lore and stuff, is it just the idea, or have they gone and talked to some actual folks who would take part in the Catholic Church, as like experts, maybe sensitivity readers? I don't know. That's the only thing I would think about as well. But yeah, I think overall it's good. I don't know. Again, I feel like I need to see what their online offerings would be before I ran it for wear, because I like the concept. I think it could be really cool. It's combat, it's media heavy, so again, maybe it's not perfect for audio, but maybe it'd be good as a stream, perhaps. So yeah, there you go. That is Sisterhood. The quick start. Go check it out. If this has enticed you, go sign up. This quick start is free, and it comes with a free adventure as well, which is fantastic. And yeah, I'm gonna go back to Big Fiona View. Yeah, quick one. We knew it was gonna be quick because it's only half of. It's almost 30 pages, so we only read half of it before the adventure itself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been Fiona, and I run One Am I Rolling, which is a twice monthly tabletop RPG one-shot podcast, which does lots of different RPG systems and interviews with game designers. We've got another interview with a game designer coming out this week. Yes, it is this Sunday. I've been doing a lot of stuff, so it feels a little bit like, a bit all over the place. We have also, I'm also one part of the DM's Book Club, which is slowly branching out into the GM's Book Club. We did another recording today, which is very exciting. And so if you like TTRPGs and you like hearing myself and my co-host Hamilton talk about stuff like what we would do and like take around with the lore of D&D and make it better for everyone, we read the books so you don't have to. That's What Am I Rolling in the DM's Book Club, wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you would like, I did this last time as well, like I said, I'm not sponsored to do any of this stuff. I do this out of my own free will. Free will. I'm not forced to do it. I really enjoy doing it. But if you feel moved in any way, please consider a quick donation on Ko-Fi. All the money goes back into me doing this sort of stuff. It keeps the lights on, all that sort of thing. I was very grateful to get a lovely donation. A very generous donation on Tuesday, and so thank you very much. I'll keep you anonymous donor, so I don't want to pressure other people to do that. But that money has gone already into a little account ready for Gen Con. Any money will currently just go towards Gen Con travel and accommodation and stuff like that, because I will be going there this year. And yeah, no, and I very much appreciate it, and I very much people being part of these streams and stuff. And I hope this has been interesting. It's something a little bit different. Next week, let me go and see what's going on. In terms of, there's lots of chatter going on in a actual play. I need to go see what's going on there. Next week, fingers crossed, we've got Vast Grim on Tuesday. Oh, on Thursday? Oh, no, that's supposed to be on Tuesday. We've got Vast Grim happening on Tuesday, I think, and then we'll have Triangle Agency on Thursday for Too Long Didn't Read. I might switch them around, because I kind of want to read what Triangle Agency is like. Vast Grim, it looks very cool vibes-wise, but we've already covered that system a little bit. So I'll make sure that's changed there. But yeah, Triangle Agency has been all over my feed recently. People going, it's amazing because of the way it's written and the narrator in it. So I'm keen to check that out because I quite enjoyed that. If you want to come along, see some other things I'm a part of. Does it work? Question. Yes, it does work. I'm 1/3 of the RP Geeks now, which is a nerdy TTRPG show of epic stories and fantastic facts. We have just done our Mappa Mundi series, which is an ecological exploration TTRPG, which was really fun. I really enjoyed it. The system was interesting, but it was a really enjoyable, fun. If you like silly characters, discovering new things, it's exactly the vibe. It's very cozy, very chill. So go. I say very chill. It was very tense at times. We were like, oh no, we've upset the animals. So go check that out. It will be on podcast, hopefully next week when I sit down to quickly put it up there. But the VODs are available on the RP Geeks YouTube channel. A lot of it's going to be on YouTube going forward. So go check that out. We've got Blood on the Clock Tower coming up next week, and then the week after, we're starting our Blades in the Dark series that I'm running, which I'm very excited about. And then, what was I going to say? There was one other thing I was going to say. Oh, yes, of course. If you've enjoyed this, if you've enjoyed the work I've done in terms of what am I rolling and the DM's Book Club, come join the Discord. We've got a little Discord for us where we just come and hang out and talk about TTRPG games, and it's just a little lovely community where we just have a lot of fun. It's nothing serious or anything like that, but it's always nice to talk to other people who have met through listening to me warble on about TTRPGs. And yeah, we like to just share things in there and little pictures of our day and whatnot. You can also go join the RP Geeks Discord as well. I think that's in the linked in for them. But yeah, come and hang out with us. We'd very much appreciate it. All right, team. That's enough warbling. I will end the stream now. Sorry, I'm just looking at my desk as if that was going to help me finish anything that's going on. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Play more games, naturally. I'm going to find the off-stream button. There we go. I'm going to wave and say goodbye for now. Goodbye for now.